Have you guys seen that lately, since they have nothing else to do? Kennedy and Duffy have both been on this this mission to... So the first thing was, and this was from Secretary Duffy, Transportation Secretary, to get people to dress well in airports. Like they were making from the auspices of the White House videos advocating for the moral importance of not wearing sweatpants to the airport. And now they're talking about how they need to build gyms. Here, can I find a video on this? Hold on. Kennedy, Duffy, give me what I want. How far back would I have to scroll? Maybe this is the wrong Twitter account for Kennedy. What about Duffy? I need to find these clips, man. Kennedy's so unpredictable, man. He does love doing pull-ups. We do need to force everyone to go to the gym, though. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's what people get for not paying attention or not participating in their physical education classes, you know? Here we go. Jesus Christ. Why is it so difficult to find evidence of them promoting this excellent idea?
Pumping some iron before you board. The White House rolling out this billion-dollar grant to make airports across the nation healthy again. That means better food, family-friendly spaces, and even micro gyms right at the terminal. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the travel experience should actually be enjoyable for Americans. Check it.
As people travel through our skies, we want to have the most enjoyable experience for them. And we know that we have families and nursing mothers. Someone might want to come through and do a couple pull-ups. We're open to any ideas that airports have to make the experience better as Americans travel.
Making me go to the gym at the airport is not going to make my experience.
Oh, they don't like it? Hold on, they didn't even play the full video. Where Duffy and Kennedy were doing pull-ups in the airport. It's actually kind of a fun idea, so of course they hate it. It's an insane idea. It's an insane idea. Are you kidding me? You want people exercising at an airport? Do you have any idea how stinky that would be? This is from the White House. And fully dressed too. Yeah. He's already got like the pit stains, you know? Just walking around like that. Yeah, worth it though? I don't think so.
It's better. I don't want to work out at home.
Well, you don't have to.
When I can go upstairs and take a shower and whatever. The last thing I want to do at the airport, and God bless RFK Jr. and Secretary Duffy, but
Thanks.
I do not want to do that.
I love this, and here's why. When you go out on Venice Beach and people are doing like those outdoor gyms or pull-ups, people always kind of stop to watch, oh, maybe rooting them on or whatnot. And so I feel like if I'm walking through the airport, instead of everyone kind of like scowling and pushing us through and get out of my way, people might actually be like, oh my gosh, wait, let me root you on. You're doing a pull-up or whatever. And so I actually think it would help make us all friendlier. Plus, exercise does bring endorphins, and endorphins make us happy.
Okay, now I thought there was a contradiction in this plan because remember Duffy said, I want you to dress up for the airport.
Yes.
But then I want you to exercise. But then I watched RFK Jr., who always, like, he's working out in a tie and suit pants. So maybe that's it. Maybe the whole like working out in jeans thing is,
That's gross.
is all aimed.
You don't want to get sweaty in nice clothes.
Right. So
It must be so fun to be a Fox News or Fox Business anchor and to know that if you ever criticize the administration, they'll kill you. You know? Yeah, this looks epic. I wasn't so sure about the idea of exercising in a button-up dress shirt, but here's a video of him doing it, looking wretched, smelly, greasy, pit stains seeping through the clothes. Yeah, this will improve my airport experience. What if we did this and then sat at the terminal for an hour and ate some McDonald's? This would improve the experience for everyone, you know? Getting paid $500,000 to spin stupidity every day. It's man, again, it's like they want so badly to be fascist, you know? Because the fascists love this stuff. The purity of the body, the purity of strength. Everyone should pitch in. Your personal enjoyment and comfort is irrelevant. Everyone should be like a model citizen. We need to promote goodness and form, that kind of stuff. They love this, okay? Big performative group exercises were a huge part of like Nazi German culture, you know? But not just with the Hitlerjugend, but with adults as well. They were huge on that stuff. They did propaganda videos. Have you guys seen the propaganda videos of all of the like all the German 20-somethings in Nazi Germany doing like gay coordinated dances or whatever? They love that stuff. They love it. That's all this reminds me of. Yeah, but they don't have the social mandate that they would need to demand that everyone do like 20 jumping jacks before getting through the security line or whatever. So they have to settle for $1 billion grant to put a pull-up bar in every airport.
Okay, so you got decent clothes on.
Is this why self-improvement stuff is so right-wing coded? See, listen, this is the thing. Self-improvement is not right-wing coded at all. They actively resist it. They despise introspection, critique. They hate self-improvement, okay? What they like is body fascism, you know? Not exercise. A lot of these fascists, they're fat. I mean, God, look at Trump, you know? But they love the idea that looking like Hercules makes you spiritually better than other people. When in reality, what it means is that you just spend like 2 hours a day working, meal prepping, so on and so forth. You know? They love imposing moral prescriptivism onto different levels of fitness, or even just perceived fitness, because there are plenty of people who are very muscular but aren't particularly fit in a cardiovascular sense or whatever. But fascists have always loved doing this.
But you stink.
Right.
Do you think I can get my lifting chalk through security? Or they're going to confuse it for some other white stuff?
They will supply it for you.
You look like you live.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Look at that neck. Wow. Have we seen that guy? Have we seen this guy in the panel thus far? Yeah, no kidding. Jesus. I heard him say lifting chalk, and I was like, you LARPer. You don't need lifting chalk. Now I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking, I don't know. Maybe.
Now and again.
Rugby.
Yes.
Michael Lee, come on.
All right, I had a jiu-jitsu tournament this weekend, competed against a WWE superstar. It went about as well as you can think it went.
He does look ridiculous.
Who'd you go up against?
Baron Corbin, his name is Tom Pestock.
No kidding.
Great guy.
Wow.
A lot better than me.
He'll be deadlifting at the airport.
Yeah.
He'll have like
That's right. I just need to get
barbell
my
out
chalk
there.
right through the.
So how do you think this will go? My exercise is running. What if I run, sprint, screaming through the airport? Just, you know, how long before I get arrested?
I would pay to see that.
Right? It's sprinting.
You know, based on JFK yesterday, you'll fit right in, right?
It is better than the current situation where people are pretty angry. You've talked about the angry people that sit next to you who step on over you. I think anything to help lift up the mood, I'm totally on board
I
for.
still want to go to the bar and have a cocktail or glass of wine before my flight.
You can do that too.
Doesn't mix with the
still
pull-up
be there.
strategy.
If you travel with kids, these little playgrounds, these little areas are unbelievable because it's stressful, hurting them like little cats through the airport, and for them to run around and get energy out. I mean, I think this is a great idea. You want to see the people that are pushing these policies practice it. And so if you haven't seen the highlight, RFK does like 20 pull-ups in his shirt and tie. Sean did like almost 20, and then the other dude they were with did like 30.
I'm sorry, it's just very fascinating to watch. I hope you all agree with me on that one. I hope I'm not alone in feeling that way. Very, very strange. They've been at this for a while. The dressing up at the airport thing. That one's from 2 weeks ago, right?
What should we expect for travel in the coming days and weeks? We have Julian Keel, the founder and CEO of PointsPath, joining us now. Julian, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Hey, Josh, thank you again for having me.
Of course. All right, so first off, I do have to ask you about this.
No, I want to hear it from the Duffster.
Age of travel. Let's bring civility and manners back.
Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport.
Yeah, start dressing up. I wonder if
Shut the fuck up. What's with the obsession at airports recently with the GOP? Well, they're all wannabe influencers, so they just have to find like stupid niche issues that they think they can rile people up over to have opinions on. They can't really do anything. Nobody can do anything. Institutional inertia has reached its breaking point. It probably did years and years ago. No one can actually change anything about anything. What's the deal with airline food? Well, that's true.
I think, again, I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. You know, whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to
Air traffic control and the planes themselves are falling apart, so let's harp on the appearance of the passengers. Yeah, that makes sense. Like take take attention away from the fact that all of this is failing to place more moral responsibility on the shoulders of people who are just trying to get through.
To the airport, I think that's positive. If we can help someone as we're getting on the aircraft that might need some help putting their bag in the overhead bin, and you're a little stronger, a little buffer, you've been lifting, stand up and, offer to grab that bag and put it up for someone who's having a more difficult time.
That's a totally different subject. That has nothing to do with dressing up. It's like a broader advocacy for civility in airports. Doesn't really make any sense. I don't know. Is this a way to target those that don't dress Western? You mean people who are dressing in, I don't know, Buddhist robes or whatever? No, I don't think so. I think it's a way of just drawing attention away from the fact that all of these institutions are crumbling and nobody can do anything about it, Just pay more attention to whether or not people are wearing sweatpants. The dream these people have is that if they could just deport all the non-white people and then stuff everyone into a suit, all of these airplanes, all these airlines, all these airports, they would all feel the same as they did in the 1950s. Well, the way they did in advertisements from the 1950s, If we could just stuff everyone into a suit, then it would be just like this advertisement where a white man is eating an entire roast ham on the flight, I don't think this particular bit is fascist, but, well, it stems from the same impulse to moralize over aesthetics. But I agree that it probably has more to do with their desire to distract and draw attention and so on than it does any, ideologically fascist motivation. The issue is more deregulation to the industry. Also, airplane or airline tickets need to be cheaper. So wait, sorry, did I say cheaper? They need to be less cheap. They need to be more expensive. Does this appeal to anyone other than boomers? I have not seen anybody speak of this positively. It's mostly just funny.
Meanwhile, it might be hard to fly or get your flight out on time without weather conditions, so I'll transition brilliantly to this. American airports getting a Maha makeover. Secretary Sean Duffy, RFK Jr., making airports more family-friendly with a $1 billion initiative, eyeing upgrades such as mini gyms.
Flying used to be a luxurious experience, then the deregulation came? Well, no, flying used to be an expensive experience, then the deregulation came. The reason why flights suck now, in large part, is because tickets are so inexpensive. Or at least they were up until a year or two ago. They've obviously spiked recently for a variety of reasons. But no, we subsidize the hell out of the cost of airline tickets. It just should not be that inexpensive to travel by air. It should be twice as expensive at least.
Micro workouts and along with that, play areas for kids, and healthier foods for you. Joining us now, Transportation Secretary Sean.
Imagine how disgusting a play area for kids would be at every American airport. I'm sure some of them already have them, but just think about that for a second. Yeah, go let little Timmy run around on this. Yeah, you're going to invent COVID too. The pathologic site.
Duffy and the physician helping him roll out the plan, nutritionist specialist Dr. Paul Saladino, was doing pull-ups yesterday as well. First off, Mr. Secretary, great to see both of you guys. Why do you think this is important to make airports more family-friendly?
Well, we want the flying experience.
Is it about making them family-friendly? Is it about dressing up nice? Is it about making them healthier with pull-up bars? What is anything about? What are we doing? We're just yapping.
Great, Brian. And so what we've done, job number one, is building a brand new air traffic control system. Making sure it's more efficient, safer. President Trump and I are working on that. By the way, just a quick note, Brian,
Why must plane tickets be more expensive? I don't get the logic here. The reason plane tickets are so inexpensive now is because they're subsidized to hell because a bunch of other industries rely on them. But because they're so inexpensive, airlines have to run their services into the ground, basically, because they run on incredibly tight margins. It's bad for the environment, and it's probably just bad in general to make travel that easy by air. It's not a great industry, and it's like a race to the bottom, basically. As long as everything is really cheap by air, there's not really much of an incentive to build out a rail network, Why would you want to invest in better rail? Why would you want to update it or, better regulate it or invest in it or whatever, when so much money is being dumped into keeping these ticket prices artificially low? The problem is bullet trains are much slower, even bullet trains. Yeah, but only if you're counting the raw travel time. If you factor in how long it takes to get to the airport, go through security, wait, board, wait, taxi, lift off, and then the reverse on the other end, in many cases, the train's a lot faster, right? It moves slower, but you're just on a train. You go to the station, and then you walk on the train, and then you're on the train.
Hired a project manager. In 5 minutes, Donald Trump saved us $200 million on that contract. He's remarkable. But as people travel through our skies, we want to have the most enjoyable experience for them. And we know that we have families and nursing mothers. Someone who might want to come through and do a couple pull-ups. We're open to any ideas that airports have.
Someone who might want to come over and do a couple pull-ups. You know, just like one of the many types of guy at an airport, you know? Just one of those, yeah, you know, you've got people who are here to travel, and you've got people who are here to buy $9 McDoubles, and then you've got people who are here to do a couple pull-ups.
Make the experience better as Americans travel. And again, job number one is less delays, less cancellations. I'm working on that.
Vaush, I fly over the country for work. 99% of the time, it takes less than 15 minutes to get through security. What are you talking about? Why are you pretending that nobody here, like this is a unique experience you have getting through airports? You're being contrarian. What are you even being contrarian over? You know what? I'm not dealing with it. Try again next day, next stream.
But we can walk and chew gum at the same time, also looking at airports in addition to
just read the contrarianism
so, Paul,
dripping from a statement. What are you even
he says
saying?
He spends 300 days a year in airports, and you can't eat. It's almost impossible to eat healthy. So that's one thing. Give people healthy options. Number two, micro workouts, right?
Micro workouts.
Micro workouts are incredible. You know that airports are probably one of the most sedentary places that we are as Americans. Unfortunately, you're sitting there for an hour or two waiting for your flight. Maybe there's delay. You're sitting on a flight for 2 or 3 hours. You're in an Uber to and from the airport. So it's very challenging.
These people have nothing to do, man. These people have nothing to do. He doesn't believe it. No, he does. Look at him smiling as he says that. He knows perfectly well. He's like, yeah, we've got nothing. Sorry. We can't fix any of this broken infrastructure. We're just pitching. We're throwing anything at the dartboard. You know, darts, glass cups, mugs. We don't care.
Challenging to actually get enough movement. And we know that being sedentary as humans quickly causes vascular dysfunction in our veins and causes inflammation. And the amazing thing here is that even small amounts of exercise, a little walking, a few pull-ups, a few push-ups, even air squats, things that anyone can do, can interrupt the process of inflammation that quickly occurs when we're sedentary. So I love this idea. I'm really, really excited to be a part of this project. I want to commend Secretary Duffy and Secretary Kennedy for this initiative. You think the goal here is not for people
Also, the funny thing is that, like, because I'm careful and I tend to arrive early for my flights, I actually tend to get a decent amount of exercise at the airport, because once I've gotten in through security and confirmed my terminal, I just walk around. You know, I don't really like sit down on my phone or whatever, because it's kind of awkward to just sit at an airport terminal. There's people and it's stinky or whatever. I just walk around unless I've got like a bunch of baggage on me or whatever, like, you know, I've got a carry-on and then a backpack or whatever. But if I'm not that burdened, I'll go for a walk. I've walked around for hours sometimes because of delayed flights.
Get sweaty in airports. Nobody wants to be sitting next to somebody smelly on an airplane. But
no sweating, Brian.
But you know, even micro workouts.
It's like a joke to them, man. They're not even. They know how stupid this is.
Are valuable for humans. Mini gyms. We just want to put in simple equipment that everyone can use, that can encourage people in airports to get a little bit of movement, 5 minutes of movement here and there, and to create an atmosphere that's really friendly toward people working out. This is a healthy country we're trying to build. Healthy Americans are happy Americans. These are kind Americans. They're gracious Americans. It's going to make the entire...
So this is the fascist element, right? The moralization of physical fitness. Being physically fit means exactly one thing, and it's that you're physically fit, you know? The idea that being physically fit innately makes you more kind, gracious, or anything else is not true. It might imply you're more disciplined, but even that's not the case. There are lots of people who are super, super fit, but the rest of their life is a trash heap. Like, the fitness is the one routine they're able to keep and everything else is garbage, you know? Tons of examples of that. So it really, again, it doesn't tell you shit other than a person's fit.
Our travel experience better.
So Brian, can you think about this? I see so many kids in the airport and they have an iPhone or an iPad and their parents have them scrolling through it. If you can get your child into a play area, have fun, burn some energy. I don't know about you, but as a parent traveling with kids, I want them to fall asleep on the plane, right? So if I can burn a little energy as opposed to having them watch movies or play games on an iPad, it's a way better experience for the parents, but also it's better for the kids. And so we're open to all ideas.
Again, just like, no, you would never do this as a parent. If you did this as a parent, I think you're absolutely insane. At least an outdoor playground is outdoors, right? The disease, the plague fumes can kind of dissipate out into the open atmosphere, but the raw diseases per square inch on airport playground equipment must be. And you know, have you seen how filthy our airports are? When was the last time any of that stuff got cleaned? Seriously.
Airports might come back to us. Someone might reach out to the airport and say, hey, I got a better idea on how we could use some of this money to make the experience better, which is, by the way, President Trump cares about making everything better in America. And this is just one sliver of it. We're open to all kinds of ideas that can fit into this amount of money, this pot of money that could make our airports.
We got the money first. Now we're looking for ideas. Nobody has any clue what's going on. We're just riffing over here. Please give us something to work with here. Just give us a hacky sack station at every airport. Bungee cords. Terminals are pretty big, right? What if there was a ladder to get to the top and you could do bungee jumping off the top? Yeah.
More efficient and better for the traffic.
Hire more air traffic controllers. No, we refuse.
And Mr. Secretary, I think it's also, especially, you know, you're a father of 9, nursing pods. You know, you get stuck, you find out you're delayed 2 hours, and that's something the mom's got to see more of, right?
So I've heard more moms, even from the White House, to people who reached out to me. I don't nurse. Males don't nurse, I don't think, Brian.
Another consequence of transphobia being normalized as a mainstream policy position of the right is that everything can get really weird really quickly now. It was never like this. Back in the days when nobody knew what trans people were, conservatives who were anti-trans didn't bring up trans people or like gender or sex all the time. They just didn't talk about them. But now we get shit like this every day from conservatives, you know? It's like how TERFs are always talking about children's genitals. They love that shit. They won't shut the fuck up about it.
But moms have said they want a nursing pod that's clean, that works, that they can be private, right? If they are pumping or they're with their baby, they don't want to be out in public. And so to curate a space for them and make sure we're trying to build families, support families, and especially those who want to nurse, it's positive. And again, I've heard more complaints about broken, dirty pods for women to nurse. And part of the money, Brian, the airports have to clean them. A nursing mom deserves a clean space to nurse, and so if they take this money from us, they also have to commit to making sure they're clean for mothers who are.
Here's the RFK airport breast speech. Okay.
Invigorated and robust and healthier. Another experience that I've had with all these kids in airports is the availability of nursing spaces, nursing pods, nursing rooms. All of the ingenuity of corporate America, all the resources, all the resourcefulness has not produced an infant formula that is superior in nutrition and all the qualities that we want to the infant formula that God made, which is the infant formula in a mother's breast. We at HHS are encouraging mothers to breastfeed as long as possible because there is no better food for your brain, for your gut microbiome, for your physical growth, for your emotional growth, than what's in God-given breast milk. And
my point exactly with the transphobia bit, man. It's so, if you showed this to people from like 15 years ago, they would be losing their mind. What do you mean this is just how conservatives talk now? This is the staunch conservatives, the suit and tie wearing, we're going to bring back God, family, law, and order values. This is how they talk now? This is what they were like. This is the vernacular they're comfortable with when speaking publicly to the news channels?
This airport has some very, very good, impressive facilities that we just toured. But a lot of airports are not very family friendly in that sense. And one of the projects that we're hoping that the airports will spend money on is...
I hate to say it, but he is right. Breastfeeding is super important. Yeah, but all he would have to say is breastfeeding is very important for the health of a young infant. That's literally all he would have to say. You can say that so normally. Studies have, as director of the, you know, Department of Health and Human Services, studies have shown consistently that breast milk is very important for the development of a young infant, and that's why we feel it's so important to keep these stations clean and secure. That's it. That's not weird at all. That's super normal now. I made it normal. They choose to make it weird.
It's improving the experience for mothers who want to travel with their babies. And then finally, to give people, Americans, particularly children, the ability to have physical activities in the airport, have playgrounds. Our kids, they one out of every 5 American kids obese. About 75% of our kids are not meeting the minimum for daily physical activity. Our children are spending, on average, more than 5 hours a day.
I can't listen to him anymore. Hey guys, we found a way to make airports more fun. It's weird how long he's staying on it too. Hey, speaking of that mobility stuff, I finally did like a full I did a full run of that mobility, like stretching, like that power stretching where you're doing it dynamically and you're not doing static stretches the other day. And I went from like not being able to touch my feet by about a foot to being able to put the first knuckles on the ground without my knees bending. Was feeling super limber. I mean, low bar, but you know, using formula is not worse than using breast milk. I'm pretty sure it is, but not by as much as it used to be. I think the difference is that the formula has the nutrients, but the breast milk has the, like, you're getting like a dose of the like bacterial biome of the mom. You're getting like the immune system shot directly into your, yeah, the antibodies and shit, getting it pumped. Yeah, you're getting the full probiotics, so on and so you're getting everything, you know. So it's not just like the nutrients, it's a bunch of other stuff. And I don't think that formula can replicate all of that, but it's not like it's not gonna like kill an infant to be raised only off formula. You know, I think I think it's just suboptimal. Also better for the baby's psychological health too, but not by much. Yeah, I don't know about that, but sure, maybe, I don't know. People are complicated. Could you do that with yogurt? I don't think infants can have yogurt. I think infants can have exactly one thing, and that's breast milk, or like stuff designed to be breast milk. I don't think they can eat other stuff. I think that like Yoplait yogurt would instantly kill a 3-month-old. I could be wrong. Did you know babies can't have water? Yeah, no, just milk. They don't want water. You're watering them down, okay? Their whole internals, they're like a sack filled to the brim with amniotic fluid and you know, orange Fanta or whatever, and you're watering it down if you put water in there. They just can't digest it. That's fucked up.